What's up, everybody? Today we're going to start building some furniture for the cabin. Stay tuned. There's the hawk. Before there was a Tiffany Outdoors, there was Tiffany the farmer.
On a U-turn when possible.
No, we're not U-turning.
Hi. Hi, what are you doing? Hi, Boo.
Okay, so today I'm going to start working on the bed. I have my measurements. I have them scratched down on a piece of paper. So my bed is going to be 72 inches long and 23 inches deep. But it's going to be the kind that expands out. So it can be like a couch so you can just sit on it. And then in the evening time when you want to spread out, stretch it out twice the length, make it a little bit long so you have some room to sleep on. And let's go ahead and get this project started. I have to put on my gnat net because these Carolina gnats, one got in my eye the other day, and man, oh my goodness, it was terrible. My eye swelled up. But anyway, alright, let's get started. Let me get my tools and some wood. I'm going to mark and measure 2 boards at 72 inches, which is 6 feet. Now I'm going to cut the 2 remaining pieces, the 2 scraps that came off of that. I'm going to mark and cut each of those at 23 inches. Alright, y'all, I've got my pocket hole jig set up. I'm going to use pocket holes on this build because I very rarely use this, but pocket holes have extremely strong joints. So that's what I'm going to use. I set this up, and now I'm going to do my 2 holes on the opposite side. Let me move you guys over so you can see. There we go. Got 2 holes on this side, and now I'm going to do the other one. These are the screws that I'm using. They're 1.5 inch for softwoods and plywood. And since this is pine, these will work perfectly. So basically what I'm going to do is take this U part, this part that's already got the 2 ends screwed together, I'm going to flip it upside down on top of that board there. Like so. Y'all, I really need to make a bigger project table. Sometimes these projects get so big they don't even fit on there. Alright, now I'm going to check the corners for square. Nice. It's not perfect, but I'm very satisfied with it. If it's off, it's like just such a tiny amount that it's off by, you can't even hardly tell. I have the top frame completed. Now I'm going to start and cut the legs. The legs are going to be 19.5 inches long, and I'm going to screw those to the frame, and then I'm going to make another frame underneath this one. This will all be clear. I know it sounds like a jumbled up mess, but it'll all be clear when I cut it and show you exactly what I'm talking about. First things first, I'm going to cut these legs. I'm going to cut 5 legs 19.5 inches long. Y'all, have been standing out here for probably about 15-20 minutes trying to visualize how to make the inner frame of this bed. It's going to slide out either that way or that way, either way. But anyway, slide out that way, so I need to make another frame that will fit inside this frame here. So I'm going to go ahead and start on that. I'm going to take my measurement inside the frame. I'm going to start with the long side first. Now I'm going to test fit my piece. It's a little long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start shaving off 1/16 of an inch at a time. After doing this a few times, I've got it to where it fits in the front, but not so much. It fits perfectly right here, but not so much back here. So keep in mind that this board has to be able to slide back and forth when I pull the bed out. Let me demonstrate. So with the board in that position, the bed will be fully extended. This will make sense once this is all put together. But when the bed is put away and in couch mode, that piece there is going to slide back against here, but it's a little snug on this side, so I'm going to have to shave down a little bit more on here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. That last little bit, I kind of struggled a little bit. So if I'm struggling now to get it to close smoothly, it's not going to happen when the boards are all put together. So I need to shave down 1/16 of an inch and see if that does the trick. Alright, that did it, y'all. I'm going to show you. I'm going to slide this back and forth, and you'll see how smooth it'll go back and forth now. Now for my next measurement. Now I need to decide now where that's going to be, and I'm going to have that board to the back. Now I marked both of those as the back side. This side's going to be the front. So my next measurement is going to be on the outside, the full length of this, the front side. This now is my front. I'm going to take the full measurement from one end to the next. So now this board I just cut is now going to be my front, and I'm going to mark both of them front. Now to give you guys a visualized idea of how this is going to work. Now when I pull on this front edge, I think what I'm going to have to do is maybe put some little hand grips up there, like 2 little handles, some nice ones. I'm going to put some nice ones on there. 2 nice handles, so when I pull that front edge out, the inside board, they're going to move as one piece to extend the bed. So all we need are those 2 pieces of wood, and now the next step is to start cutting my slats. For my slats, I'm using 1x4, and they're 8 feet long. As a side note, y'all, in order to keep everything all lined up, because I'm going to cut each one of these slats individually to fit each specific measurement, because these measurements are going to be off. It's not perfect, so these are going to be off. I'm going to cut these one at a time. So I've marked this side left, that far side right. That way everything will be lined up. So when I put in my slats, I'm just going to number it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah blah blah, whatever. Also, what I need to think about is spacing. Each one of these slats is going to need a space so it slides back and forth smoothly without binding up. So I need to think about that also. Okay, so my first slat, I'm going to pull you guys in close so you can see how I'm going to measure this. Okay, so I have all my boards. Everything is lined up the way it's going to be when it's all put together. I'm going to take my slat and then go underneath and draw a line just like that and then cut it off there. I'm going to line up my slat as straight as I can and then make my mark. Going from underneath, make my mark. There we go. So the thing I don't know is how much space I need to leave in between each board. So I'm going to go and pull out all the boards to see if I can measure it down, all the way down the whole length of that, to see if I can figure out how much space to leave in between. That way I want to try and eliminate cutting extra pieces if I don't have to. Alright y'all, I'm not going to bore you with this. You saw me cut too. You saw how I'm going to measure it for accuracy, or as close to accurate as possible. I'm going to go keep on cutting all the way on down the line. And then when I get to the end, then I'll figure out the spacing. Oh goodness, y'all can tell it is dark out here. So I went on ahead, I got all my pieces cut. It ended up being 16 pieces. I don't have it spaced out perfectly yet. It doesn't have to be pretty or perfect. I do have it spaced out. I think I'm going to keep this spacing. It's in there, it's good. Tomorrow I'm going to come out and screw this stuff together. It is the next day. It's time to screw these boards down. I have them spaced out. I didn't use a spacer or anything. I just kind of eyeballed it. I did put them back in the numerical order I had written on them, and we're going to continue on. So what I'm going to do is when I screw in the boards, I'm going to countersink the screw heads. That means there's going to be like a hole so that the head of the screw sits down on it so it's below the surface of the wood. So I got this countersink set, and it's pretty cool because the last countersink bit that I bought, it was really dull. It didn't work very well. But I bought a better set, a better quality set that also has the drill bit. The countersink bit that I had, it didn't have the drill bit included. And these are really neat because there's a screw here that you can adjust the depth on it. I've already went and checked how deep I want this to go, so I've already got that set. There's like a little Allen wrench that comes with the set, and there's a little screw head there. And what I'm going to do, so when you're building these, what you do is you screw in every other one, and that's going to be your main base frame. That's going to be the section that does not move. So I'm going to start with this one here. Then I'm going to skip that one, and then I'm going to go to that one there. Now when you're doing this, you have to be careful. Okay, now when I screw these boards in, I'm going to screw in every other one. I'm going to show you on this first one. This first one is going to be connected to the main frame that will not move. And that is going to be screwed to this outside board here. And on this side, the inside board. Because keep in mind that outside board, this board here, that one's going to slide out, so we don't want to fix that one to it. And we're going to do that to every other board. So I'm going to go ahead and drill some pilot holes and countersink holes and go ahead and get this process started. Now the other side, I'm going to drill here on the main frame because this board right here is going to be the one that slides out. So I'm going to drive a pilot hole into the main frame. Okay, so now you can see all the screws are on the outer board all the way down on both ends. Okay, so now my even numbered boards are going to screw into that inside board there. And on my second side, alright y'all, I am running out of light. I'm not going to have time to finish this tonight. I'm going to have to come back and finish this another day. Hey y'all, it has been relentlessly raining for weeks now, almost every afternoon. So this is week 2 of me trying to finish this bed. Oh my goodness, it's been a journey. But there have been some changes. Stay tuned until the very end of this video and I'll show you what I had to change, okay? So watch to the end, guys. Alright, let's get back to this. Okay, y'all, I had to make some changes. Now the AC wants to kick in. Okay, so what happened was this board right here was on the inside and it was attached to the sliding piece of the bed. What was happening is this whole thing was getting bound up and I could not slide it at all. I mean, it was tight in there, almost like I had screwed it to the main frame altogether. So what I did was I took this off. I had to take that off completely. So what I'm going to do next is come up with a system so that the sliding piece does not slide all the way off when we pull this out. So I'm going to show you exactly what I plan on doing with this. Okay, this is what the bed's going to look like when it's fully extended. And to keep this from going too far and falling off completely, I'm going to put some of these hooks here. Oops, that's upside down. Here we go. There's the hook. That's what it looks like. It's called a square bend hook. And this end, it's got a screw in to it, but we got a way around that. Okay, so here's the plan. What I'm going to do is cut some pieces of board, little small pieces, probably about, I don't know, enough to fit in between one of these gaps. So I'm going to put one here, somewhere in the middle, and then one on the end. And then I'm going to drill a hole in one of the top boards there, drill a hole there, and drop this pin through that hole into the little board, and then all the way down, so that will keep it from sliding in or out when this bed is extended. I've got my 3 cleats cut. I got one there, I have one there, and one there, and I cut them each 3.5 inches, which is the width of the board. So what I'm going to do is take those and screw them into the main frame this way, and then we're going to drill our hole down this way. I'm going to be using 2.5-inch screws to put these cleats in. When I screw these in, I'm going to screw on the 2 outer sides of it, so I'm going to drill some pilot holes first. I have all 3 of my cleats screwed in, or my little stopper block screwed in. So now it's time to go ahead and drill a hole for what I'm going to call the keeper pin. Pull this up again, test fit it. There we go. Nice. That's exactly how I want it in there. So that's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other 2, and I'll come back to you. There we go. all 3 pins in. Let me give you a close-up. Alright, there's the close-up, and you still see the 2 screw holes there on the right. But that's going to be it on that to keep the bed in the proper position while it's in its extended state. Alright, I'm going to pull the pins out and push it in and see how it looks then. See, this is a problem that I was having. It doesn't want to go all the way in. So I have a couple of options. I could take my sander and go along the edges there and sand some of it off to see if that will help even it out so that I can slide that all the way in. Let me show you how much of a gap is left there. It's that much of a gap, about 1.5 inch gap there. You can see that board right there is hitting. It's actually hitting the slider piece. Let's see, where's my finger? It's hitting that board in front there. So I need to troubleshoot this and figure out how to fix this so that it slides. I need it to slide properly. I have an idea. It's going to be time consuming, but what I decided to do is mark each end of the board where it hits on the slider frame and make some kerf lines and knock that out, clean it up with the chisel, and then it should slide in a lot better. So let me go ahead and get my pencil and start making my marks. I just about got this figured out. So I did my little cutouts all along this right hand side here, and it slides in pretty well. So the last thing I need to do is make the legs for this thing. I've already have some legs made, but I need to make some more. I want to make this thing as stable as possible, so I'll be working on that tomorrow.